Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Canadian Shield. My name is Sterling, and I'm your host. So, the Liberals have been trying to run around and convince you that they're doing you a favor by taxing the rich. They're really not. They aren't. There's no going to be any generation of funds from that, except for the banks are going to make some money when everybody that is trying to sell something has to put it into a trust. What I will like to point out is one of the biggest problems is if you go to sell, your parents pass away and they leave you their house, and you go to sell that, you're going to be paying extra. You're going to be paying 66% tax on that because it's not your primary residence. You will the nightmare that it's going to cause you, because now you'll have to become a landlord or lose 66% of your money to Christia Freeland. Now, I would just ask you all to, if this was such a great idea, how come it's taken them 9 years to do it? That's all I want you to put into your mind. Just look through the garbage, look through the feces, and understand what they're trying to do is they're desperate to hold on to power. They're desperate to find money to pay for all of these ridiculous, absurd claims, these investments, which are not investments at all. They're bribes. Anyway, before I get into it, I would encourage you to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. My subscriptions are through the floor. It's taken me more than a month to get 300 new people. And I'll tell you something, I am certain that when I look at my numbers and then I look at the way that they drop off very suddenly, I'm absolutely certain that the algorithm is cutting me off, no matter what the CRTC has to say. So if you could just, hit the notification bell so that when I put something up, it'll come into your feed. Censorship bothers me. So anyway, I got a couple of clips here just so that what I'll say at the end will make more sense. Let's just listen to this lady. Let's just listen to the finance minister try to feed us all a whole shovel full of feces.
These tax changes will allow us to expand our national system of early learning and childcare and get down to $10 a day from coast to coast to coast so that more Canadian families can benefit. Now, Canada could finance these critical investments by taking on more debt and choose instead to pass a ballooning debt onto our children.
The third question that you didn't flag, though, was the one that I'll circle back to. It's not just if you think you should invest or not. It's if you think the investments will actually pay off in the long term, that there will be a return on the investments you're making for Canadians. There is so much evidence that that's not the case. There are more people let me finish. There are more people than ever going to the food bank. GDP per capita is on the decline right now. Productivity, our own Deputy Bank of Canada governor is sounding an alarm about how terrible our productivity is relative to the United States. What is the evidence that you're going to take all that money from this new tax scheme and invest in ways that actually better our country? And don't you bear responsibility for the place we're at right now?
So that was a great question by Vassie. If I had Freeland in front of me, I wouldn't let her talk some foolishness. If you listen to that interview, it's the same 6 talking points over and over again. I can't hear her say fairness for every generation ever again. I'm so sick and tired of the lies. I'm so sick and tired of thinking that we're just too stupid to understand that we can't see right through the scam. I'm really frustrated with them today, because the idea that you're going to somehow prove that the Conservatives are right from the beginning, they've been telling you that once these bills come due, you're going to have to start increasing taxes. And they stood in the House of Commons and called everybody every kind of an ist that you could think of. And yet here we are 4 years later, taxes are through the roof. The reason that they're going after the rich is because they don't have there's nowhere left to go from the poor. They have drained every single solitary nickel out of them. Then she'll say to you, oh, well, this is going to pay for $10 a day daycare. The 3 provinces that I know for certain the $10 a day daycare has kicked off are a fiasco. People are on waiting lists for 3-4 years. There's nobody getting paid. People are closing down because the money isn't there. And that's the thing that you got to remember with a tax government. In a minute, the money runs out with the Marxists, and then it's cut. And that's what you'll see very quickly. But they don't want you to look at it that deeply. They just want you to think that they're doing you some kind of a favor by going after the rich. Like I've been hearing songs since I was a kid about, eat the rich and all that kind of stuff. But it doesn't, those people don't have to pay more. They just have to understand that the small guy has to pay less. because they need more money to spend, and that generates the economy. But they have already drained every penny, and they're going after it harder and harder and harder with the carbon tax. The idea that you can somehow tell a person that this is an essential service, but I'm going to raise the cost of this essential service, like gas and groceries, and I'm going to somehow give you your money back. And in the process, you're gonna put more money in your pocket, but you've raised the cost of the essential service. So my daily living is exceedingly expensive. And then you throw into that mix, you start to say, "Oh, we're gonna tax the rich." And Buddy is like, "You know what, Bud? I don't care about what's going on over there. I have to choose between sending my kids to school with a lunch and having supper. I have to decide whether or not I'm going to stall the power company or stall the credit card company. What do I care about the rest of it? Why don't you give me a break on the taxes that we're paying right now, so you can put $10 a day daycare?" See, this is the thing, right? It's a very focused idea that they feel like they can take the votes is all they really care about. And seniors vote. So they think like if they give them over 75, if they bribe them with free dentures, they'll give them their vote. If they bribe single women with free daycare, they'll give them their vote. If they bribe 16-year-olds with giving them the right to vote, they'll give them their vote. This is the idea. This is what's happening right now. And that's why it's taken them 10 years to describe. Like, I hate the fact that she's sitting there trying to describe to you how this is such a wonderful idea and that we're not going to leave the next generation a ballooning debt when we already pay more in interest than we do to our entire healthcare system for the entire country. So what do you mean ballooning debt? Ballooning debt is already here. The debt is so ballooned that it's about to burst at the seams. And you want to talk to me about how you're doing me a favor with the fairness for every generation? If you want to make fairness for every generation, why don't you start by turning the taxes off right now? Why don't you pull some money out of your own pocket and start to pay down the debt? Because you can't pay down the debt, and you know you can't pay down the debt. And the reason that we all know now that you can't pay down the debt is because you've now decided to tax the richest of us all. And we all know that that's a very small percentage of people. So how much can you really be hoping to make? But of course, when she was asked by Vassie Kapelos if she thinks it's going to work, she meandered away through one of these ridiculous and absurd answers that didn't even... I don't know what this is. I don't know what she's doing with her body language all the time with the hands shaking. Like, that reminds me of that, like when they used to go jazz hands, you know what I mean? Like, is that what that is? I don't even understand what that is. Okay. I might be in a bit of a mood. I'm really frustrated that that nobody is seeing this and that the press is just letting them get away with it, that somehow it's all going to be about the Conservatives not supporting the bill. The Conservatives could all have left the building and abstained, and the bill still would have passed, because the NDP supports the collusion, supports the seditious government of the Liberal Party. There are 10 people in the Liberal Party that are actively pursuing the benefits of other countries. And this lady wants to talk to me about how increasing the taxes is going to improve the caliber of my life. If she wants to make me trust her, if she's so smart, if she thinks Canadians believe her so much, call an election and let's find out. Let's find out together. If you are so confident that this plan is going to make everybody so happy, call an election and let's prove it. Put your money where your mouth is. The proof is in the pudding, as they say in lots of places in this country. Otherwise, what you're describing is just more taxation. And what I know, what you may not know, but because I understand economics, what will happen now is money will start to move out of the country. And we will lose a brain drain. She tries to tell herself, "Oh, why is it fair for carpenters and nurses and stuff to not pay that?" Listen, I got news flash for you. There are plenty of people in the industry of construction that are well off, that are multimillionaires. What do you think? They got 6 pickup trucks. There's $1 million in revenue just sitting right there in those trucks. Never mind the rest of the tools and the overhead. And where in your mind do you think that a construction worker doesn't make any money? That's the point. That's the thing where you get stuck. You think that somehow they're all just off some 1950s television show, but they live very well, and they don't live to the point where they're billionaires, but they live over that limit. We're at the point where if they try to sell anything, where they've got they got a cottage, if they try to do any of that, they're going to get mugged. And so what they do is they talk to a banker, and a banker takes that money and he puts it in the Bahamas, he puts it in Antigua, he puts it in the United States, he puts it anywhere else where the Christie of Freeland can't get her hands on it. This government doesn't know what it's doing. It's like a teenager with its very first credit card, and now the bill has come in and they're running around going, "Daddy, help me pay for my bill because I maxed it out, and it says here that I owe $20 extra over what I have in my pocket, and if that's only just cover the interest, my bill is going to keep running up. Now this new bill is coming. It's more than I got coming in. Daddy, help me. When really what you should have done is been more responsible with the credit card in the first place. All right, I'm going to wrap here. I want to thank y'all for listening, and I would appreciate it if you would like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share this channel with your friends. I will talk to you next time.